Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Gwen, and I'll be facing off against the Kalista adventure from the newly released Spirit Blossom campaign. I didn't feel like playing a higher level champion with more stars. After all, I do want a bit of a challenge. So we're just doing Gwen because I have two stars. Also, I'm just taking the Troll King's crown because with all the hollowed allies getting so much attack value, or such a higher attack value, I think I'd benefit from it. The foe creates 0 cost Black Spirit in hand if they don't have one. If the foe didn't summon a created unit this round, they plant a mysterious portal in the top 4 cards of their deck. And the baseline power is when one of my units dies, everything or every copy of it gets ephemeral. All of this seems pretty terrible. I mean, we do summon a ghastly band every turn, so maybe the +1/+1 is nice. Now let's reroll. Out of the gates, crush, disarmed. Out of the gates pulls a Phantom Butler, guaranteed every turn or every time. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Gives us some early board presence, which is nice. Now Gwen, Sapling Toss, Atrocity, Conductor of the Mists. I'll keep the Sapling Toss and the Gwen. I don't exactly have a way to draw into Gwen at the start of the game, so I'll just keep her in hand, and then I'll use the Sapling Tosses to set up a big swing turn next turn. Or at least that's my plan. Maybe I shouldn't have traded in the Phantom Butler, because now... Okay, the one on board doesn't get ephemeral, but all the copies of it in deck do get ephemeral.
There is so much to see. Where do I start?
At the beginning, madam.
Now let's see, it's leftmost attacker gains power from Hallowed, so does the attacker to its right. So the Phantom Butler gains attack, this one will gain attack, and Gwen will gain attack. And then I can just have the saplings pull the blockers. Okay. Nice and quick first game. Let's hope all of the subconstant games are just like this one. Well, to be fair, the opponent's life total was very small, so it makes sense that he would die that quickly. Out of the way. Catalog of Regrets, Ghostly Paramour. The Miraculous Melody is just redundant on it. Out of the way makes it so our hallowed buffs are permanent, which is interesting. I'm picking up the out of the way. It's slow, it's clunky and awkward to use, but if it does work, it's going to be very fun. Timo Victor Draven. Double attack on Timo is very tempting, so I'm going to pick the Timo. It's also a cheap unit to get out. Ooh, this is new. Help a spirit resolve their past and become who they were always meant to be. Win 3 encounters with a negative power to transform it into a positive power. Allies have vulnerable. When you play a spell, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. Your created cards cost 10. Round start rally. I mean, we don't really create a lot of cards, so this is barely even a negative. Yeah, let's pick this one. Now, Kelp Maidens or Camavoran Soldier. Camavoran Soldier might be a bit too rough. Let's go for the Kelp Maidens. So it's going to be a bit annoying to deal with them, constantly increasing the cost of cards in my hand. Is this a good keep? I'll keep this hand. I want to get the out of the way on turn 4.
We shall sing, dance, and forget our woes.
I can also do it next turn if I just save 1 spell mana here. Nah, I'd rather have the board presence and the extra item on the buff cap up. Really? Wait, was that an attacking turn for me? I didn't even realize I had the attack token. I thought for sure the opponent was the one that had the attack token there. Well, whatever. Let's get the out of the way into play, and then we can start buffing up our units permanently. Wait, this also has an incredible synergy with the excavator's charge, because the excavator's charge's buffs become permanent. Wait, let's go like so. This increases the amount of damage we deal, because the Phantom Butler can't be blocked. At least not by the units the opponent has on board. Now it's permanently at 7 attack. That's fine. Let's just kill and revive the Ghastly Man. Keep increasing the amount of Hallowed. It's going to make my next few spell casts very awkward. But what if I just don't cast the spell and I close out the game like so? What then, opponent? That's what I figured. Now that's one encounter. Only 2 more. When the foe draws 2 and discards 2. That's one of the new cards. Strike up the band, though. Do we already have a Strike Up the Band in deck? No, we don't. Strike Up the Band is pretty decent, actually. Yeah, I'm going to pick up the Strike Up the Band. Now let's go for an item chest. +7/+7, but I cost 3 more. Nah. Draw on the buff cap up. Sure. The draw is nice. We're not playing Bard. Game start, the foe summons a Babbling Balladeer. Round end, if the foe has Babbling Balladeers, they summon a Hungry Owlcat. Interesting. I guess they just implemented this encounter from Bard's Personal Adventure 1-1 and forgot to change the text or change the way it works or something. I did see a lot of people complaining about how lackluster this adventure felt and the content they released alongside it. Can I actually kill the Balladeers if I pull them with a hollowed unit? No, I can't, so there's no point. Might as well just get the damage through. Get 10 damage going. Shuffle a couple of buff caps into the opponent's deck.
What wondrous discoveries await below?
Yeah, there's a chance he just dies here to the buff caps, but it's incredibly small.
The battlefield must stain with blood.
Let's generate some blockers because the opponent has a lot of units on board. No attacks, really? That's actually worse for the opponent than it is for me. Pretty sure I just close out the game with the units I have on board, but I want to play Gwen first.
Wonderful world.
Of course, expeditions lead to acquisition.
I'll scout ahead.
And 41 damage just like that. The opponent doesn't even bother blocking.
Everyone. Ooh, quite a collection. More mushrooms. Get it together.
Now we've reached the mid-boss. Let's see if it's more of a challenge than all of the other ones so far. Ooh. When I'm summoned, plant a poison buff cap on top of the enemy deck. For 1 mana, and it's a 1/1. Sure. Doesn't seem too bad. Then we can pick up a couple more powers. Flexible game plan. Do I want something better? Let's roll into something better. When you summon a created ally, grant it +1/+1. It works on our ghastly bands and whatnot. Lighted caretaker, nah. Let's just move along. We don't need more cards. In fact, we want to cut cards from our deck. First of all, the poison dart. I just don't feel like it's going to be impactful.
I'll warm the kettle.
Even though I haven't even drawn him once this entire game or entire campaign. Yeah, this is a fine keep. We can go double 1, we can go for the 2 cost as well. Let's go for the 2 cost.
Wonderful. Allow me.
Let's do this. Let's get some damage through. There goes my ghastly butler. At the very least, this Mr. Thrift no longer has Deathless.
We shall sing, dance, and forget our woes.
Do I want to give the ghastly band an item? Sure. Ooh, I gave it a great item. Let's drop the Gwen down. Try to get a turn where I deal a lot of damage to the opponent.
What a joy.
Let's go like so.
I shall need my tools.
We pull here, here.
Come in.
We can pull here, I guess. Nah. Is there a way to do this? Pull here. Pull here. Pull here.
Nothing to fear.
I don't think there's a way to reach lethal this turn. So I'll just do this. Set up so that the opponent dies in a couple of turns. He might just die to buff caps. He has 6 in deck. Okay, he didn't throw one. But he did draw a lot of cards here. Not like he had that many buff caps to begin with though. Well, Strike Up the Band just basically kills him on its own here.
I shall need my tools.
Ooh. That's huge for him. He transformed Gwen into a mini-T. Fortunately, he still had enough damage on board to close out the game. Otherwise, he might have actually messed me up a lot. Excavator's charge, Rally Banner. Let's go for the Excavator's charge. We already have the domination right now anyway, right? Yeah, we got the domination now. And then we get an additional power. Prophet of an Elder God, Endurance, Officer Backup. You know what? The Prophet of an Elder God is actually good here. Because while we do not... while we do get a tentacle, the tentacles in our deck don't exist, so it's not like the tentacle dying is negative for us. Win an encounter with a legendary negative power to transform it into a positive legendary power. -2 starting mana, unyielding determination. The cost is not really worth the reward, so let's reroll. You don't draw a card at round start, your first spell each round costs 10 less. Yet again, the cost is not really worth the reward. I want to spend my last reroll here. Yeah. Each round after you play 3 cards, your caster costs 3 more. It's not... Annealing Determination is not really that useful, but it's not like the restriction is that bad either. Considering how fast we close out our games, I don't think we've ever really reached the point where we are playing more than 3 cards a turn. But this might be such a situation, because we didn't really draw a whole lot of cards here. Okay. That's a very slow start from the opponent. Summon us. Let's use the strike up the band, and then we attack with everything. The opponent's almost dead, just like that. That was an incredibly weak showing by the opponent. Did he just get unlucky with his draw? I'll chalk it up to that. I mean, he played a single card throughout the entire encounter. Well, this is only a 2-star adventure, so maybe I shouldn't have expected that much of a challenge. Yeah, we got the Unyielding Determination, so now we even have an additional backup plan in case things go wrong for us. I'll cut the Chronicler of Ruin. I don't feel like we've played it a single time. No, actually I did play it once. It still wasn't that useful though. Item chest, champion item chest. Yeah, let's go for the Evershade Stalker. It's usually a challenging encounter, and I feel like we can afford to take a challenging encounter. Let's skip this end.
Oh, hello there.
That's not very frightening,
But a joyous one.
but that is. Let's get rid of those two before they attack. And this also gives me a tentacle and deals 5 damage to his Nexus.
Oh heck!
Haunting Presence, cost set to 0. Oh right. the ephemeral units become 0 cost. That might actually be better for me in this situation, because it allows me to get more damage on board easily.
One and all to the midnight revel!
And just like that I close out the game. Turns out this cost reduction on the ephemeral unit did matter. -1 cost on the sapling toss. Considering how great it has been throughout this entire run, I definitely wouldn't pass that up. Also, a small buff on Gwen is nice. And for our last cut, Atrocity generally is a very good card, but I feel like with how quick the games are going, I'll never reach a point where I do want to play Atrocity. So I'm going to cut it. It feels terrible, but I think it will work out. Brew, buff cap up, Gwen. I'll keep the hand like this. We don't need double Rue. He's mostly here just to proc the hollowed on it. Do I want to go double 1 into 0? Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to go double 1 into the 0. Next turn we're going to have a big attack directed to the opponent. Let's do it like this, ensure that the opponent doesn't even have a unit on board to block. And here I might be able to close out the game. No, actually the opponent gets set to 3 health. I feel like he just plays Kalista here, so I'm going to play the Teemo and try to increase my damage this way. I didn't expect that. I was fully prepared for the opponent to just go ahead and play Kalista, and I'd have a easy victory because of that. But it turns out the opponent had a better play in hand. Not like it changes much, because we rally at the round start anyway. You can just close out the game here by doing this. Let's do it like this. Just in case the opponent has something. I should have known. But what died this round to proc the Black Spear? The Flash Bomb Trap killed something. That's what happened.
We shall sing, dance, and forget our woes.
I don't have to worry. I don't have to trade in the Phantom Butler.
My goodness, what is all this?
I should have just played the Gwen. It was a misplay on my end. I didn't realize you would have been able to play the Black Spear. But it's fine. The game ends without much issue. And we didn't even level up Gwen a single time throughout this entire adventure. Shows how easy it was. It was still fun though. I didn't like the new encounters that give you a negative power in exchange for a good power later on. So yeah, it was fun. But yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.